Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, November 7, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a reverse aging health call and all the rest tonight after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. I want to make sure you're in a comfortable position. Still as a statue, no outside interference. Relaxed into your body and focused on your breath, rising and falling. Deciding what we truly want in this life can be challenging, because it feels like you are defining who you are and who you are not. When we commit to deciding to do one thing, we can feel confined that we are excluding 1,000 other possible options. You ever done that where you go, I'm going to do this, no, I'm meant to do this over here, I'm going to do that. Oh, maybe I should do it this way. No, I'll do it this way. The other reason why decisions are often so challenging is the time frame or deadline we form around them. We set these deadlines to ourselves. Now, if we had an infinite number of years to reach our desired outcome, we might become so relaxed about the whole thing that it wouldn't matter if any decision was ever made. The enlightened path to discover here is that the limitations we feel around time and resources can work for us or against us. And when we are thinking that we do not have an abundance of money, love, time, creativity, or manifesting power, it can force us to get deeply creative. And when we have consequences to our choices, a price tag, you have to pay for every decision made or not made. We become even more reverent beings who are conscious, choosing who we want to be and why we are here. And when it comes down to reality, believe it or not, we have full choice as to if we entertain this belief and limitation or not. The mind will make up all sorts of stories about what is true, real, and what is fiction and fantasy. Yet the truth, we are living in an ocean of unlimited conscious, intelligent energy that has no boundaries or borders. The mind likes to create limitations to play with and believe in some form of pressure around special decisions that have to be made. Yet the big secret here is knowing we are all spiritual beings at the core. Our infinite spiritual nature contains the realization that there are no limitations, no death after the body is gone. Deep down, we know that we have an infinite resource of manifesting power inside us and an eternity of time to create anything we desire. How would you be and we don't know, we just kind of guess. How would you be if you knew, that you had infinite time? You're in a body, you have a life, and then you are given the opportunity to have infinite time. Years. I'm not talking about 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. I'm talking about thousands of years that you had infinite time. It'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Would you still where would your motivation be? Where would your drive be? Okay. Would you just say, yeah, I don't need to do that right now. I've got thousands of years to do that. How would it affect us? Right? When it comes down to reality, believe it or not, we have full choice as to if we entertain this belief and limitation or not. The mind will make up all sorts of stories about what is true and real. Right? And what is fiction and fantasy? Now, there is no such thing as a person. Made up. That's why I don't like using the word person. Being is better to define. But person is that's fake. There's no such thing as a person. There are only restrictions and limitations. The sum total of these define the person. And the person merely appears to be like the space within the pot appears to have the shape and volume and smell of the pot. Ezra. To step into the realm of making enlightened decisions, we must choose to start with blowing up the mind. The mind is too small of a container for an enlightened decision to fit in. So we must choose to drop the mind completely for an enlightened choice find its way in. To reaching this place of enlightened insight, it is not difficult. It just takes patience and the willingness to see the infinite realm of possibilities that exist here now. We must choose to be willing to quiet the mind so it eventually stops its desperate, perpetual search for answers. To truly comprehend what an enlightened decision is all about, we might need to first clarify what an unenlightened decision entails. An unenlightened decision is one that is not self-reflective, introspective, or taking into consideration a deep love and respect for yourself. When you don't know who you are or what your heart truly yearns to manifest in life, chances are high that you will struggle with every decision that comes your way. This doesn't mean in order to make the most enlightened decision, we need to contemplate for several hours when taking any risk or leap in life. When we are in tune with our deepest life mission and purpose, we can make a huge enlightened life choice spontaneously and confidently. You can tell a decision is enlightened when it brings you more freedom, lightness, love, depth, or even more possible choices. An enlightened decision won't limit your future, yet rather will expand your consciousness in every dimension. Enlightened decisions are win-win solutions where everyone benefits in some miraculous way. The most enlightened decision will manifest instantly when the mind is perfectly calm and silent. Here, we become truly in tune with our hearts, aligned with our spiritual nature, and capable of feeling what our deepest needs are. The more we are in touch with our spiritual nature, our true soul connection to this universe, we will know what we most want to experience every day before we die, however you want to describe it. Knowing this connection, every decision-making experience becomes easier and happens faster all along the way. Now, if you're afraid to make any decision that could possibly alter your normal, safe life circumstances, you'll notice that the mind is frozen in fearville. It is terrified of change, thinking things will remain okay if I remain in full control and don't make any changes. If you're able to take one baby step out of this comfort zone, you won't end up molding and rotting in your cozy safety pit. An enlightened decision maker loves taking in your cozy safety pit. But an enlightened decision maker loves taking risks because they realize there truly is nothing to risk. They know they are a soul and a God within the soul, a truly infinite being inside, and are excited to throw some spice into their life in order to really enjoy the ride. Doesn't that make sense? A lot of us will get into ho-hum drum, right? Ho-hum drum. You've heard that before. And, we get kind of hosied into it, ho-hum drum. And then when we have the opportunity to take a leap of faith or spice things up, in a lot of cases, not all, but a lot, we recede. Those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music. Friedrich Nietzsche. To make that deep change and arrive in the liberating land of enlightened choice-making, think about those choices you've made in the past that have made your heart sing the loudest. What great risks have you taken that have manifested the most wonderful situation that is still impacting you today? By trusting the risks you have taken in the past, you'll relax deeper into yourself, realize that you are listening to your heart. This is one of the first steps to uncovering your real spiritual essence. Notice how you feel when you're coming from a place of intuition, inspiration, love, trust. Just feeling into these qualities every day make it 1,000 times easier to become that empowered co-creator of your life, dreamy designer of your destiny. And the most enlightened decision you can make will always be the one that brings the deepest relaxation into your body and mind. The most unenlightened decision will always be creating more stress, tension, anxiety, and fear inside. Now, which do you think is the majority on the planet? Just for a guess. An enlightened path or enlightened path? The unenlightened path is about basing your future on avoiding or processing or possessing potential what-if outcomes. We are desperately trying to avoid something from manifesting in our lives. We are more likely going to attract it and end up being a closed hand to receiving what we truly want. So it's like saying, yes, I want this, and then it comes to you, and you go, no, I don't want this. No, I'm not going to have that. If we are always attached to a particular outcome having to happen in order to be happy, we become so rigid that we cannot relax into the happiness when it arrives. You ever been in that situation? You want something really bad, and the happiness comes in, but then you are stressed and can't really enjoy the happiness because you get so rigid. You can't relax. Sometimes it seems absolutely not possible to make any decision at all in life. We hit the super jackpot of challenging decisions and feel forced to make a major life choice where there is no evident win-win scenario. Our soul mate and life partner is drowning in a sea of circling, hungry sharks. The best outcome might be what we believe is the best for others. Or another time, it may be only what's in the best interest for ourselves. Sometimes we must choose that safe route. What has been comfortable or known to us in the past. While other times, it's better to take that dangerous leap of faith into the unknown. What helps us to find the most enlightened decision when confronted with a real-life challenging scenario is noticing where the choice is coming from. Is it coming from love and trust or fear and tension? Okay? Ask yourself. Is this choice that I'm making coming from love and trust or fear and tension? The outcome you manifest will be based on the springboard you jump from. If you dive into the water out of pure fear, the sharks will smell that and eat you alive. Now, on the flip side, you dive in with passion, love, and trust, the two of you just might escape alive. To find out if your choice is love-based or fear-based, pay close attention to your chest. Notice how the energy around your heart responds when you think about the choice. Does it expand in love or contract in fear? Be aware of how grounded you are in this feeling and how it touches you emotionally as well. In this life, there is always a choice to be made. Even when we freeze and don't make any decision at all, this still ends up becoming a choice, and we must surrender to our default destiny, letting the universe decide what's best for us. It's like you say, you know what? Universe, this one's yours. I surrender it completely to you. And you walk away from it. Okay? This is where your trust, confidence, and faith in yourself and the universe comes in. 100% across the board. You have no doubt whatsoever. You give it to the universe. You're not running from it, ignoring it. You just say, universe, this is yours, give it to you. So, in life, we know there's always a choice to be made. We know, but some of us will freeze point in decision making. Now, that's one of the most powerful transformational places we can arrive at. It is the point where pure choiceless awareness is found. It is the easiest place where we can create a breakthrough into a higher state of consciousness. When all thought processes come to a total stop, this is the moment when the radical, spiritually liberating experience of pure choiceless awareness comes into play. In this place, there is no separate chooser, no ego or limited being in need of anything. There is simply a relaxation into the spiritual destiny that the soul is already aligned with. The highest states of consciousness are found in the most random and ordinary circumstances. An enlightening experience can show up in a simple urge to move to a new city, get a new job, or change to a new relationship. You've probably had that happen, right, in your life so far? You know, something comes in, and you just, bam, it's like the simple urge to move to a new, you get a new relationship, whatever. It often happens when the mind becomes completely frozen, and it cannot decide what the right decision will create the most happiness, success, and freedom. So it freezes. Goes to like in a suspended animation. Ultimately, for the soul, it doesn't matter if your ego gets what it wants or not. The soul is more interested in where you are making each choice from. The choice is always coming from either a state of love or fear. Notice, what experience are you really trying to have in life anyway? You could have a magic wand. What would you honestly want your great destiny in this life to be? If you want spiritual freedom, you could choose to stay in the same house, at the same job, or with the same relationship that you have been in for years. As long as you're seeing what a sacred teacher the situation is, you'll be able to love where you are and feel truly free there. However, if you want financial freedom, great material success, you may want to do something radically different and move to that new town with the big job that has no financial ceiling to it. There are no right or wrong paths to take in this life. There are only choices we make and how we truly feel inside about them. You ever made a decision and then you sit there and contemplate and go, maybe I shouldn't have said that, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. All that stuff comes in. The game of life is a game of boomerangs. Our thoughts, deeds, and words return to us sooner or later with astounding accuracy. Florence Scovel Shem. It's a good thing to know that every curse we perceive in life is a deep internal loving in disguise. It can happen that we incur so much intense emotion and pressure around a decision that we tend to hesitate, procrastinate, or distract ourselves with doing meaningless, time-consuming tasks instead. When the mind is wrapped up in fear, we end up trying to avoid feeling the fear by doing things which are somewhat enjoyable and yet deeply mind-altering. When the mind is doing a crazy number on you, the best thing to do is to go for a walk, have some tea with a friend, relax with a good book, and let the whole process go. This approach is a conscious technique for trusting deeper in this universe, and it will show you what the best choice is when the timing is right. Now, it may seem like you're avoiding making the decision, yet truly you're diving deeper into the trusting process. This conscious trusting method is super powerful and effective as long as it doesn't turn into a lazy excuse for entertaining your addictions and avoid taking full responsibility of your life. Mind is a trickster, and it will do anything to avoid an experience it doesn't want to have. If this sounds like you You must choose to watch your mind extra close. Commit to only doing the most inspired actions that make your heart sing every minute of the day. Eventually, you will start feeling really inspired and can relax enough inside to see clarity around which decision to make. Best of all, you'll have the deepest sleep when the day is over. Enlightened choices are nearly born from how we approach the circumstances we're already in. We may first need to discover that we have to stop trying to alter the outer world so that our inner world feels better. Or we may need to alter our outer world to give us access to the things we are really yearning for. However we approach the world, the secret is to remain in contact with what we truly want. Breathe through the challenging feeling we're facing and relax into what cannot relax into on the inside. This practice opens the door to enter into that all-expansive state of pure, choiceless awareness, which is the breeding ground for the most enlightened perspective on reality. Once we are living in an enlightened perspective on reality, every decision we make will have this enlightened quality to it. The more enlightened decisions we can make, the more this level of consciousness develops, and the more amazing things that spontaneously manifest into our lives. It's a good thing to understand here that what essentially makes one's perspective enlightened is that the mind is at ease. We are tuned into our spiritual essence instead of the circus of thoughts circulating in our heads. From this place, every being and situation we encounter is felt through the heart and not just judged and analyzed through the head. We feel everyone for the soul and pure conscious spirit they truly are. We see, live as completely fresh, new, and sacred in all its divine ways. So we see life as completely fresh, new, and sacred in all its divine ways. When the mind gets in the habit of seeing everyone and everything is sacred, there is a deep recognition of what's good inside ourselves, a perpetual stream of gratitude and enlightened choices seem to naturally flow from every thought we have. And by surrendering to the idea that everything is sacred, we realize we cannot make a mistake on this spiritual journey through life. We know that this universe is ultimately running the greater show on earth. We begin to honor this truth, feeling more relaxed about our future. And then this helps the mind to see and feel into things more clearly. In deep relaxation, we can feel aligned with the highest outcome this universe already has in store for our greatest possible future. We stop being afraid and worried about what will occur tomorrow and are naturally spontaneous, quick to love, and feeling on purpose and creative. We are truly living in the now, every moment of our lives. This is a deeply surrendering space to live in. And when we can choose it each day, we become capable of designing our destiny confidently, choosing a life we would truly love to have. Joining the meditation, I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body, focused on your breath, rising and falling. This moment contains the very experience you've been searching for your entire life. So what are you waiting for? Do not hold back today, no matter what. Go for it. Let go of hesitation and procrastination. And you have just opened up your vibration to receiving unlimited possibilities. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, following morning. We'll return here tonight after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our reverse aging health call and all the rest. Saturday, November 8th, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on within you or outside of you. Open your heart, allow the magic to flow in.